For 40 years, Europe has been running one giant experiment. Keep borders loose, keep welfare generous, and assume migrants will plug the gaps of shrinking workforces without rattling the locals. On paper, it looked tidy. In real life, it's looking like tents in city parks, sky-high rents and fringe parties suddenly topping elections. The results are in, and they're messy. Picture this. Your quiet village of 7,000 suddenly gets 19,000 newcomers in just 2 years. Rents triple. The clinic waiting room looks like Black Friday, and a party once dismissed as extremist suddenly bags a third of the vote. That's not a thought experiment. That's El Hierro in Spain's Canary Islands. And it's Europe in miniature. When the numbers hit the streets, identity politics rushes in, and the political center just stares. Europe's open-door dream began decades ago. Schengen erased borders. The Dublin rules set migration norms, and Brussels assumed newcomers would integrate quickly, stay productive, and keep the continent young and dynamic. The problem? That bet ignored history's habit of laughing at wishful thinking. Since 2010, roughly 11 million non-Europeans have gained protection or citizenship in the EU. Add a few million undocumented plus those who overstayed legal visas, and you've got a population the size of Belgium reshaping the continent. Meanwhile, birth rates among natives keep sliding. In cities like Frankfurt or Malmö, every third child now has a foreign passport. Schools juggle dozens of languages. Hospitals spend more on translators than on training midwives. And housing, barely updated since the 1970s, can't keep pace. El Hierro was once a sleepy volcanic island. Then Madrid rerouted migrant boats there, doubling the population almost overnight. Rents exploded, classrooms overflowed, crime ticked up, and locals started shouting at town halls. Help us before our village vanishes. Swap the name and it's the same story in Lampedusa, Lesbos, or small German towns. Tiny places turned into pressure cookers. When voters feel ignored, they don't stay quiet. Spain's Vox surged in the Canaries. Germany's AfD is hitting record highs. And France's Rassemblement National went from fringe to parliament's powerhouse. The slogan, "Control the border." Even centrists now echo the line. Macron's ministers float immigration zero, not from conviction, but because voters smell panic in the middle. Numbers are only half the story. The deeper crack is cultural. Young city dwellers may celebrate diversity at food markets, but older generations see traditions eroding. When Christmas fairs get renamed winter markets, or fans boo national anthems, symbols break faster than statistics can reassure. You end up with parallel societies, kids born in Europe, fluent in local languages, yet belonging fully to neither culture. Europe keeps chasing yesterday's crisis with new solutions: Italy's naval blockades, Greece's giant fences, Finland's sudden visa cuts. Brussels' new pact even lets countries pay 20,000 euros per migrant instead of hosting them. But smugglers adapt faster than politicians, and legal migration routes remain scarce. Europe issues fewer skilled visas per capita than Canada, so people like Omar, a young man from Guinea, risk rafts instead of flights because there's no ticket window for opportunity. Failure here isn't collapse, it's slow decay. Shelters bursting at 200% capacity. Housing queues stretching into years. Teachers quitting because classrooms feel unmanageable. And mainstream parties parroting the same lines until voters bolt to extremes just to be heard. It's not war, it's entropy. A wealthy continent drifting into distrust, unable to house newcomers or reassure natives. Walls and fences treat symptoms, not causes. The only lever that consistently works: legal pathways. Germany's new chance card, a points-based job seeker visa, drew over 1 million applications in weeks. It's proof people prefer the front door, if it exists. Pair legal routes with fast returns for those who skip the line, and smugglers lose business. But politics is the stumbling block. One side fears looking soft, the other fears looking cruel, so reforms keep getting pushed to next year. Europe's experiment assumed goodwill plus GDP equals endless cultural stretch. Reality answered with 11 million newcomers, housing shortages, and the fastest rise of populism since World War II. Doom isn't inevitable, but drift is. Till legal pathways outpace smugglers, housing outpaces arrivals, and leaders offer a future that includes both the fishermen in El Hierro and Omar on the boat. extremes will keep climbing. The experiment can still be rewritten, but only if politics stops lagging behind reality.